Hey guys, Cassie Dunn with the Moving Factory. I know we've been starting to hear about the interest rates going up and the shift that's happening in the real estate market currently as of today. And so I wanted to tell you an experience that each time we've seen one of these like major shifts happen in the market in the last year, we've seen this tiny window of opportunity open up to certain categories of home buyers that weren't quite able to secure a home during the height of the competition of the market when interest rates were so drastically low, which was driving the prices like crazy up, and we were seeing these huge appraisal bridges. So quickly, the four buyers that I see have the biggest opportunity in this small window before the rest of the market catches wind of the change are going to be laid out in this video. So the first buyer that I think has the biggest opportunity to finally make that move they've been wanting to make is the buyers who are purchasing a new home cash with the sale of their current home. So this is the people who either paid off their home, they have enough equity in their home to buy their next home, but they need to sell that home in order to purchase the new one cash. So I do feel that once we are able to kind of see these homes that have been sitting on the market a little bit longer, they become a little bit easier to negotiate on your behalf. So if we're able to go in, find a home that you're saying, hey, this would really work for us, it's a nice transition, we may be able to get your home sold on the back end, which will allow you the time to transition between the two and use the cash equity out of that home without having to deal with the interest rates on your end. We are still seeing homes sell for just listed properties. So I don't want you to be like afraid, like if I take my home to market, I'm not going to get enough cash out of it. And remember, we're selling contingent on the sale of that home anyways. So if you don't get enough money or the number you needed out of it, there's no obligation for you to purchase that other home because we're making it contingent on the past sale. However, we are still seeing homes that are priced appropriately going over asking and being in a very competitive setting. So you really have to rely on your listing agent to not just look at the values of the home in the last 6 months, but to look at the active inventory and what's happening in your neighborhood for homes like yours. So as long as you're positioned correctly, this might be an amazing window of opportunity for you to take advantage of selling your home, taking the cash out and buying a new home, and doing it all in a process in which you are not selling your own home out from underneath you, and you're using the proceeds to buy a new home without having to take out and secure a new mortgage loan, which is great for you, especially with the rising interest rates. The second home buyer that is really likely to take advantage of this opportunity are the homeowners that are buying contingent on the sale of their home with a mortgage. So say you need to sell your home, get that equity out, that's what you're going to use for the down payment on the new home and take the new mortgage out. Again, an excellent opportunity as the shift in market causes these overpriced listings to sit a little bit longer. They're homes you can secure, sell your home on the back end, take that equity out, do your down payment, pay down some of that mortgage interest rate, or even potentially have your seller pay down some of those mortgage interest rates with the different programs that Fannie Mae is putting out with the interest rates rising. So there are a lot of opportunities there. But again, the small window of time is going to open up to certain home buyers that have seen themselves either outpriced out of a market or just out situationed. They just can't move without the sale of that other home. And there's a lot of complexities that come with that for a lot of people. The third home buyer that I think is going to be able to take extreme advantage of, and the last time we saw the shift, we saw a huge amount of our client base take advantage of this, and that is the home buyers who need seller concessions in order to purchase a new home. So these are the home buyers that they qualify for a mortgage. They're fine with the payment, even with the rising interest rates. They need to secure a new home, but they need that cash from the seller to assist with the down payment to get them into the house. I've heard several of our buyers say, you know what, I'll pay the interest rate, we'll get into the house, we'll get out of that rental that's been killing us, and when the interest rates come back down, we can refinance. That's a brilliant way of looking at it rather than getting trapped where you are, because there's no guarantee our interest rates are coming back down. There's just not. At least we have no time frame for when that would happen. Will it? Potentially, but when? I don't know. The last buyer that I think is most likely to take advantage of this opportunity are the buyers who don't want to pay over asking. They don't want to bring that money on top. Maybe they don't need to sell a home. They've got the down payment. They qualify for the mortgage. Maybe they're even cash buyers, but they don't want to pay these ridiculous premiums that they've been seeing happen over the last 3 years in order to get in a home. They don't want to buy a home with negative equity, so to say. This is a great opportunity for those buyers to come forward and realize that a good offer these days might really be a really well-rounded mix of terms, price, flexibility, closing dates, all those things. And on top of that, being able to take advantage of those listings that were overpriced, that did not anticipate the shift that happened in the real estate market in the last month. So we're going to continue to see those shifts, but we noticed that when the shifts initially happen, you have this small window of time where you take advantage of it before other home buyers and sellers are able to do that. Then the competition comes in when they see that the opportunity is available. So what's really important here is getting a really good understanding, if you have a home to sell, what does that value look like? And the conservative basis, is that enough for you to move to your next home? Not to get carried away with interest rates and letting that shock you. You know, there's that phrase, marry the house, date the rate. I actually hate that phrase. It sounds so corny, so cheesy. But in situations like this, it really applies, because you're seeing the shift, and the interest rates are maybe higher than we've seen in the last couple of years. Definitely not the highest we've ever seen them, and there is potential for them to go up further from here. So you might be looking back at yourself in 2 years and saying, I'm a genius that I bought at 6%. But anyways, people who are buying homes they want at a higher interest rate are in a better position because they can always refinance out of that rate at a later time. But the people who bought in the last 3 years that were buying on this premise, myself included, that I'm going to secure this low interest rate, they bought the interest rate, they married the interest rate, and they're dating the house. And the house isn't working appropriately the way they thought. They overspent, and now they're really kind of stuck in that scenario. They've got this great rate, but getting out of that house in that situation, it might not be perfect for them. So they went and did it in reverse. They were so anxious to get a home. They wanted to secure these low rates of a lifetime that we might never possibly see again. But unfortunately, there's no way to refinance out of a home. If the rate you can redo over and over again as many times as you qualify to do so. But unfortunately, we can't always change the home or the structure that they picked. So you're really in a good situation if you're one of these 4 home buyers. And if you have a home to sell, you're honestly in a great position, especially if we don't have to sell your house out from underneath you. We never do something like that. We see that happen routinely in the market. But anyways, if you have any questions about the shift in the market and how you may be able to position yourself to secure a home and move on to that life of your dreams, I don't want you to get afraid by these interest rates. We've seen so many people with this equity of a lifetime be able to put enough down to where that payment still looks very similar to what they're used to on the home if they still have a payment, but they've actually moved on. They put this stack of money in the bank, especially with the uncertainty in the economy. Putting that stack of money in the bank is such a relieving feeling to so many homeowners, and just being able to draw from that investment has been huge. So if you have any questions about that, what that could look like for you, please reach out. We'd be personally happy to go through those processes with you and see what we can make work for you and your future dreams. Talk to you soon.